Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. I am super excited because today is our second Testimony Tuesday. This is a new thing that I'm doing every Tuesday. I'm going to be featuring somebody in the plant-based space who wants to tell and share their story with you. So today I have a really excitable guest in the house with me, and I'm super stoked because I just found out about her yesterday. She agreed to come on the show, and she is so inspiring. She's doing amazing work in the plant-based space. I can't wait for you to hear about her story and her journey because it's really cool. And I want to just welcome you. If this is your first time to Plant-Based Made Easy, please comment and let us know that you're here and let us know where you're watching in from today. I'd love to engage with you, and I'd love to answer any questions that you might have about plant-based eating and living as we go through the show, all right? Now, today is Tuesday, and on Tuesdays, we happen to always make lunch recipes because that's the matrix that we follow with my monthly cookbook. And speaking of my cookbook, I want to take a quick second to share what it is. If you've never heard about the Plant-Based Made Easy Cookbook and you're curious about going plant-based and making a commitment to a plant-based lifestyle, but don't really know how to start, where to start, who to check in with, talk to about it, I have a resource for you. I write a new cookbook every single month, and I want to deliver it right to your inbox every month. And so what I offer is a monthly membership to my Plant-Based Made Easy monthly cookbook. It's really super simple. $10 a month will give you access to a new cookbook. This is a month-long cookbook with a lot of recipes that will get you to cook plant-based and experiment with this lifestyle throughout the month. All right. Right now we're in issue number 8. I can't believe it. We've been doing this since the start of COVID, and it has been a really successful journey, you guys. I just want to quickly say what my inspiration for doing this has been. The reason I want to share this is because people have been asking for me to share this bit, and I really haven't shared a lot about it. So here's what I want to say. I myself went plant-based completely on April 1st of last year, right at the start of COVID. And I went plant-based because I got a call, I think it was from God, who said to me, you know what, you can't use animals anymore. And I remember hearing that voice and thinking, this is strange. It sounds like my voice, but it isn't actually me. Where is this coming from, and why am I getting this message? And I decided to pursue kind of understanding what this was about. So I started reading and watching videos about the vegan lifestyle, why animal agriculture is so depleting on our ecosystem and in our bodies and for our communities, and kind of getting all the information that I can to feed myself. And what I found is that after I had gone plant-based, it only took me a matter of weeks to really commit to this, everything in my life changed. Now, I'm going to tell you and be really upfront and honest that even some parts of my life that I didn't want to change, changed. Like for instance, recently got separated from my husband, and that was a really big deal and is a really big deal. And I'm really kind of dealing with the vulnerabilities of that. But I realized in this process, the more that I have actually come out and been more me, and that is actually, for me, that was going plant-based and actually pursuing and committing to this way of life, the more that my community has found me, the more that this Plant-Based Made Easy community that I've built have been engaged in this process with me. And so for whatever it's worth, I just wanted to offer a little bit about my story today. And I wanted to really give you a taste of what you're about to hear and somebody else's story that may be similar to mine, may be very different, but inspiring nonetheless, you guys. So if you want a cool resource, hang with us today. I'm going to be actually showcasing one of our recipes from the Plant-Based Made Easy Cookbook today. And I'm just going to add it to the screen right now so that you can see what it is all about. Today, we are going to be making a tahini cabbage salad. You can see up at the right-hand corner, there is a little lunch tag. That is a color-coordinated tag that will tell you that that's the type of recipe that we're in today. We're making lunch, and it is going to be super delicious. You can see that this can serve a good crowd. It doesn't take that long to make, and it comes with this delicious creamy tahini dressing. Now, if you buy this cookbook, you can not only just get it with the membership, but you could also just purchase this as a one-off. And if you want to do that, the cookbook by itself is $12. Like I said, it comes with amazing recipes that are going to get you through the month. It also comes with journal exercises, reflection pages, so you can actually test the waters and see, how did you do this week? How did it feel when you actually prepared some of this food? And go week by week to kind of get through it, you guys. And then if you really want a cool resource, you can check out the menu, which is a really cool kind of calendar menu tool that I created right at the very beginning of the book. It's right here. And it gives you access to every single item that we're going to be preparing. And it tells you kind of on which day you might want to consider making it. Now, you can use these little boxes here and fill it in with dates. You can use this as a checkoff box for every single time you create a recipe and try it. You can actually put notes in it. However you want to use this calendar menu tool, it's up to you. It's up to you to use it however you want. But I just wanted to showcase this, and I'm going to get back to the page that we are working on today. Tahini cabbage salad. So that is the cookbook, you guys. After the show, I'll put a link right down for the monthly cookbook so that if you want the monthly membership, you can go ahead and sign up today. I really encourage you to do that for the sales price. And if you just want to buy the one-off cookbook, just this cookbook for this month, you can do that as well. So I'll go ahead and add those links at the end and you guys can check it out. All right, you guys. So without further ado, I want to just say hello to all of you. I'm so glad that you're here. And I really want to now welcome, and I want you to welcome with me our incredible guest. Please help me in welcoming Miss Kai Bravo to the stream. Hi, Kai.
Hey, how are you?
Oh my God, I'm doing so great. I'm feeling really good today, which is, it's good to feel good, right? Like I haven't been feeling my best, so I'm feeling really good. And thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm on day 2 of a plant-based hearty cleanse, put myself on a little bit of a retreat. And
fantastic.
I was talking to my people today saying that people ask me so often, when do you know how often to do a retreat? How often to do a cleanse? I like to do 1 day a week or do some intermittent fasting. And then if you're having lots of fruits and veggies, do it when it feels like a treat.
And so you're really kind of like intuitively listening to your body. And that's when you know it's time to do it.
Your body, exactly. And your soul and your, like, if your back goes out, it's like, I love your energy so much. And we just found each other yesterday and it was such a blessing. I looked at you and I'm like, oh my God, we're so on the same page. And it's like, I can tell with you, probably no one else knows if you're a little bit off. You have that kind of amazing personality. And same thing with me, that happens sometimes, not like I'm saying I'm an amazing personality, but only the closest people to me know when I'm really, we all have ups and downs. If we do this incredible self-care and eat this way with vibrant, high-vibe foods and exercise and all the other, I have a whole ring of keys that I talk about in my book. And my website's kaisgarden.com. But if you do all that self-care, your ups and downs are up here instead of down here. And when it's time to do a cleanse is when the magic is just slightly dulled. Like life is not as much like, oh my God, look at the sun sparkling. When it's not that as ecstatic, it's like we're here for this beautiful life. And when it's not like we feel in love with life and yourself and everybody else, it's time to do it just ups your vibration to do a cleanse. But I think you're wonderful. Do you want me to share my testimony of my plant-based journey?
I do. But first, before you do, I just want to say, you just said something that really kind of gave me goosebumps. You called this food high vibe food. I absolutely love that. Did you make this up? Did you hear this from someone? Like, can I borrow this? This is amazing.
You can have it along with other things to grab onto. I want to have that high vibration. And I will notice that the more fruits and vegetables I put in and add smoothies and soups and all that stuff and juices, the higher vibe it is. And then there's some things, something that just came to me the other day, I don't know if anyone else is using it. Self-medicating has gotten like a bad rap. That sounds, oh God, he's self-medicating, like it's drugs and drinking. I'm self-medicating with good food. Sometimes I get too hyper and too excited. I need to be more grounded. Then it's time for potatoes and root veggie stew or oatmeal. I notice I go to sleep after oatmeal if I'm used to smoothies. If I need to be on it and vibrant, I will have mostly fruit, not a lot of fat, and I'm much older than you. So I notice as I get older, I need more rest. I need lighter foods. I can't handle what I handled before. Like something shifted in you. I love your story. Thank you for sharing that it just came to you. And someone was at a cooking class. I was at my BFF's cooking class, Isis, who you got to have on this show. She's amazing.
Oh, I'd love to. Okay.
She's raised both her kids that are in their 20s. They've never had anything not vegan.
Oh, wow. That's
And
cool.
been vegan a very long time, and she cured her own cancer, and she's incredible, and she has a cooking school. Anyway, she'd be great on the show. But I was at her class, and I was saying how your food's got to be 4 things. It's got to be beautiful. It has to be delicious. And I would say why. And someone said, I have an acronym for you. FED, P-H-E-D. You know you're fed when your food is pretty. So why does it need to be pretty? To add to the pleasure of it, but also so you know it has a lot of micronutrients, because it has vitamins and minerals if it has the colors.
That's right.
And then your body welcomes it. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to eat raw kale all day because that's the best for me. Your body will reject it. It has to be gorgeous. It has to be fed. You want it to be healthy if you want to live a full, there's just too much stress, too many toxins. So you want to be healthy, of course, or it's hard to be happy without being healthy. And then it has to be easy. Like you say all the time, people will not stay with it if it's not easy for more than a couple of weeks. And then it has to be delicious. You can't just say, oh, well, this is good for me, so I'll eat that. That will not last. At least for me, I would say 90% of people. There's 10% of people, including my partner, who actually doesn't have a sense of taste. Well, we don't need to go into that. But anyway, he's used it for this, what I call Plan A+. He just eats what's healthy for him. He doesn't crave anything. He doesn't use food as medicine in a bad way. You want to use food as medicine in a good way. Anyway.
That's so interesting. I love the acronym. I love that so much. It's easy to remember these elements of how to choose food. It makes it simpler for us when we can kind of break it up into things that we can remember, and then our choices are just a little bit simpler. This is fantastic. Okay, I want to introduce the recipe that we'll make. Let me just start making the dressing, and then I'm going to ask you a question, all right? And then I'm going to put Kai up on the screen, and you guys are going to hear from her as I'm cooking. But I just want to come right back into this recipe, and let's get this started, you guys. Let's cook a little food while we chat, okay? So I'm going to be making this tahini cabbage salad. So darn simple. Kai, I'm going to just replace your face. Actually, I can keep you right there and put us in the middle. All right, so look, you can see my overhead cam, guys. I'm going to make a delicious creamy tahini dressing for our tahini cabbage salad, okay? So simple.
Yum.
And you won't believe how easy it is, and you're not going to even believe how delicious and flavorful it is. And so let me just tell you, it doesn't even require that many ingredients. Water, all right? I want a little bit of water, equal parts, with tahini. Now, if you are unfamiliar with tahini, this is sesame seed paste. Now, this comes from Trader Joe's, and I really like it. I'm going to show you in the overhead as well so I can get a really close shot. I like this because it's sesame seed paste, and so it is going to give you a ton of protein, all right? And you don't even have to try that hard, because all you have to do is scoop it out of the bottle and then use it on anything. It's great for marinades, salad dressings. It's great for sandwich spreads. It's just really versatile. Sometimes I use it just as a garnish, and you'll see that when you...
And it's like a dessert, and also it's a lot of calcium.
Yes, it has a ton of calcium. Really important to note. Here's a great thing. A lot of people, when they go plant-based or vegan, or they're considering it, they're wondering if they're going to get enough of the micronutrients in their diet, or macronutrients too. A lot of people worry about protein. So I'll just kind of lump both macro and micronutrients. And one thing that we can remember is when we eat whole food plants as our main staple, and that's everything from fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, tubers, legumes, beans, pulses. All of these foods contain the full spectrum of the nutrients that we need. And a lot of them are going to give you things like incredible doses of protein and calcium in foods that you didn't even think about, like tahini, for instance. So I just want to read the label that in just 2 tablespoons of this tahini is going to give you 8 whopping grams of protein. That is a ton. And 20 milligrams of calcium. That's really a lot, okay, for what it is. So I said I'm going to do equal parts of water and tahini. But I had to just mix up that oil because it has this layer of oil on it, because there's so much fat and oil in the sesame seeds. It kind of separates. So make sure to mix it up before you add it to your bowl of water, or else what you're going to get is kind of just like the oil that floats on the surface. and you want it to kind of come together. You want it to be creamy, okay, or emulsified. And we're going to emulsify this without the use of any dairy, obviously, because we are plant-based here. All right, so we're going to use just this tahini as the emulsifier, and it's going to be really great and creamy without anything else. All right, the next thing that I want is some acid. Really important. When we make dressing, we really want a little acid. You can use lemon juice. You can use any of the vinegars. Anything will work. I'm going to grab my knife here. And I really like to use lemon juice with the tahini because I think it's really, it's a great flavor combo. What do you think, Kai? Tahini and lemon, do you love it? Yeah.
Lemon and everything. Tahini and everything.
I'm going to add 2 tablespoons or whatever you can yield out of like, half or so of a lemon. This looks really great. And then I want some other flavor agents. So I'm going to use a little sweetener. Now, if you're whole food plant-based, I always like to say good on you. I love that you are doing that. Whole food plant-based, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is someone that doesn't eat any of the SOSs, the salt, oil, or sugar, okay? And I am not whole food plant-based. So I use some refined sugar or sweetener, but I try to make it the least processed of all the kinds. So I like maple syrup. You could use agave nectar if you want. But if you're whole food plant-based, you might consider just using a medjool date that you blend up in your blender. You can make a nice, delicious paste, and you can save this in a bottle or a jar and use it for a sweetener that's totally the one and only whole food plant-based sweetener.
Yes.
All right. I like that trick. And Kai, I saw that you did that the other day on your chocolate milkshake. I like that you use the dates as well. And I like that you like the medjool dates as well. Same wavelength.
Caramel.
All right, I'm going to use a little bit of salt because, like I said, I do use salt. Now, if you want to use a little salt substitute, go ahead and do that. Just a pinch of salt is all you need. And then here's what I want. I want a little bit of savory quality and a little bit of heat. So today I'm going to use a little garlic powder and a little cayenne pepper, okay? The combination of these are really great. I'm going to throw that right in. And that's it. I'm going to switch to a whisk here because I think this is going to keep it really nice and thick and creamy and nice and emulsified. So let me just switch to this whisk, mix this up, and you will see it's kind of a nice thin but creamy dressing. It's really great for this cabbage tahini salad because it's not going to be overly heavy. It's going to be nice and light. When this sits in the refrigerator, it will thicken up just naturally. And as it kind of sits on the cabbage and the carrots, it's going to get really delicious. All right, so this is done, you guys. I want you to taste as you go, okay? You have to taste as you go in order to really kind of know, is it right? It's really nice. I would say the only thing that I want is maybe a little bit more garlic powder because I can, and that's my business. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit. I love it. Maybe a tiny bit more salt too.
Yep.
And I think it's ready. I think it's totally ready and good to go. I'm going to taste it one more time. I like to keep tasting spoons in the back and then just grab as many as I need throughout my cooking process. That's really, really nice. I love it. So that's the dressing. Super duper simple, right? All right, so now before I get into asking Kai another question, let me just say I'm going to prep my veggies as she's chatting. Here are my veggies. I have this gorgeous cabbage mixture, okay? Green cabbage, purple cabbage, a little bit of carrots. That's going to be great, but I'm going to add some more carrots. I want rainbow carrots. So I have a purple and a yellow rainbow carrot. These are gorgeous. And I'm just going to actually grate these as I chat. So I'm going to grab my grater now. And okay, Kai, here's your moment. I want to hear from you, and I know that everybody else does too. Please, will you explain what was your process of going plant-based? Why did you choose to go plant-based? Will you tell your story, please?
Yes, thank you. Well, I was much heavier for a long time. I've been a chef since I was about 12, and I'm going to be 59 this year. And I had thyroid problems. I had chronic fatigue. I had a lot of that going on. And then I started to get really healthy, but I didn't know so much about the plant-based yet, but I was pulling my different ring of keys to a healthy lifestyle. I was trying to eat as healthy as I could, but it still included some animal products. And then when I was about 43, I had horrible perimenopause. Every symptom in the book. I had about one good week a month. And I went to, I consulted with a friend who is an MD. And he said, I just read this book called The China Study. maybe you want to try to give up animal products. Maybe their hormones are messing with your hormones. And I had just been on what some of my clients had told me about the blood type diet, and I'm a type O, so I thought, I'll try eating. So I was, before that, actually eating extra meat, but I was also having green smoothies. And, I thought I was being healthy, eating the meat at that point. And though I should have had a clue, when I was 24, my sister read Diet for a New America and went vegan way back then. So this is 30 something years ago. And I felt better than I'd ever felt in my life. But so that a little bit stuck in there. And when he said that, I went plant-based. Within a month, all the symptoms were gone.
Wow. 1 month.
And I had started creeping up in weight. It was hard to keep it off when I hadn't gone plant-based. So once I went plant-based, I lost even more weight, started to feel more and more vibrant. And you know what, in the beginning, I experimented with it a little bit. I was like, really? No goat cheese. I had been a chef so long, and I was surrounded by people that weren't eating this way, or I'd have a little bit of salmon, and I never felt well. I used to like ghee. I was just telling someone about this yesterday. And I thought, as a treat, I've been plant-based for a while. Why don't I add a little ghee, which is clarified butter? And it almost made me gag after a couple years of getting the animal stuff out of my system. And like you said, I love how you say it's the healthiest for your body and it's the healthiest for the planet. And those reasons were not what motivated me, the environmental and the animal side of it. But after a little while of having all that out of my system, those reasons started to sink in also. I will never go back. I feel so good on it, and there's nothing about it that's deprivation. I'm a foodie. I love to eat. I love to entertain. I like pleasure. I don't easily come to discipline. So I've found ways, it helps being a chef, to make it really, really delicious and really satisfying. And I've discovered over the years, it's not just the food, it's a whole lifestyle. You have got the spiritual aspect and the emotional aspect and the exercise and visualization and support from friends and making sure you're having fun and all kinds of other things. So then I started, after being a chef for many years, my mom got sick with cancer and I moved up to this small town. I thought, what am I going to do? And actually, a friend said, if she's always had problems with digestion and constipation, you might want to get, and she's going to do chemo, you might want to get a colon hydrotherapy machine. And this was before I had gone plant-based. And it helped her, just doing the cleansing helped her so much, but I wish I knew then what I know now about plant-based. Then I started doing these health retreats where people would come and stay with me for 4 days, because I heard from my clients as I was doing cleansing. Before that, I was driving to LA every week from Northern California, an 8-hour drive, to do all the meals at an eating disorder center and to cook for like the rich and famous. I was private chef when I was young for people like Steven Spielberg and Sybil Shepherd and Harrison Ford and a few other people. And so I learned really how to cook and make things absolutely delicious and do dinner parties. And then it switched, like you, to doing it for health reasons. So I was able to incorporate those things. And people kept saying after they would have a cleansing treatment and I would offer them something to eat that was healthy, they're like, oh my God, can't you just come home with me and cook for me? And I heard it so much that I designed these retreats where people came and stayed with me for 4 days and had dramatic health results and learned how to have this lifestyle and how to cook some stuff. So now I've semi-retired from that, and I've made a full-length documentary about the retreats and about my story and transformation and to inspire others. I think, like you, many people are realizing they should have less meat.
Yep.
And now they finally go, oh, but it's sort of like, oh God, I should eat less meat, but I don't want to give it up. Is it easy? Is it good for you? Is it, how do you make it delicious? And I think my film is coming at the right time, where films like Forks Over Knives and What the Health and Cowspiracy and all those Game Changers is great. People get that they should do it. And hopefully my film will answer and what your show answers. How can it be fun, and how can it be delicious, and how can it be easy? So.
And what I like about your film too is I want to just plug this for you. If you are someone that likes community and thrives in community, you have to watch this film, Kai's Garden. You guys, you can actually view a trailer of what Kai does in kind of the full global aspect of everything she offers. But go on her YouTube and check it out, because if you are somebody that is community minded or oriented, this film and her work is actually, I think, going to really get into your heart in a really meaningful way. So, gosh, your story is so cool and so inspiring. And what a resume, I might add. Like, how cool that you got to cook for so many important people in Hollywood. Not that they're more important than any of us lay people, but that you really got to hone your skills on for people that it mattered for, that really were taking you seriously, hiring you in their home to host the parties and things. It sounds like it taught you a lot about your passion, which is plant foods. And it's just fantastic to see how you've used it.
Thank you. And thank you for that. And just for people to know, right now it's free, and there are no ads. So you can see the whole documentary.
I'm glad you said that.
And some other things. Yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to come back to this salad really fast so that you guys can see. You can see it in the middle here. I have the carrots grated. Let me add these. Look at these gorgeous rainbow carrots, right? You can see how really beautiful they are. And Kai mentioned this at the beginning, that we eat with our eyes and we want to eat colorful foods. You guys know that I say eat with your eyes like every single episode, because it's so true. And if you don't know, I have a huge rainbow in the back of my studio here. You can see a little bit. Let's see, there it is. And that is really to remind people to eat the rainbow. And it's really kind of just a good reminder too, that we are all kind of an aspect of the color of humanity. And so when we can really connect with our individualism and then approach food as really kind of individual and unique, and get the colors of the rainbow in a very diverse amount of fruits and vegetables and plant foods, we are going to feel our best. So the more color, the more vibe, the better, right? I just think it makes perfect sense in my head. And so I want to continue to drill this down into your ear if you hear it, and then you can approach your choices around food in a different way too. So colorful foods is where it's at. The last thing that I want to do are add just a few more ingredients. I want to add some onions. You can use green onions, or you can use shallot. So I have a shallot here. I'm going to skip on the shallot for today and just use some green onions. You guys, I store these in a little jar or glass container with water, and these will continue to grow. So I'm just going to take 2 of these onions and I'm going to chop them up. And I'm also going to add to this salad some goji berries or dried cranberries. So you can see those at the top of my cutting board. I have some there. Choice is yours. Like, the onion choice is yours. The dried fruit choice is yours. Make this your own. Enjoy it. Use ingredients that you already have in the kitchen, and have a really wonderful kind of tasting salad that you can change up with the seasons and your whatever ingredients you have available to you. So I have some green onions here, and then I'm going to throw in, like I said, the dried, I'm going to use gojis today because I love the antioxidants in goji berries. If you are allergic to nightshades, though, I want to recommend that goji berries are a nightshade, okay? So you want to avoid goji berries if you have that allergy. Dried cranberries are going to be your best bet if that is something that you can't have, okay? But you can even do a combination of both. And let me just grab some right out of here. I'm going to just show you that if you've never seen a goji berry that's dried, here's what it looks like in the overhead. Beautiful, plump, red little berries. Come on, focus in. There you go. I think that's as good as we're going to get there on the focusing. And just throw these in. You can throw them in whole because they're that small and that delicious. A couple tablespoons. You can add more if you want, but I just want just a touch of sweetness, and then a little bit of sunflower seeds, okay? These are going to give you a lot of nutrients, really good amount of protein, potassium, calcium, really good for us. Check that out, you guys. Get your sunflower seeds or any seeds in your diet.
The texture too.
Yeah, and the texture, they're like soft, and they have like a creamy flavor, and they're so delicious. All right, so I'm going to just dress this up. Let me just pour the dressing over. I want you to see this. I want you to really, really see this. Ha ha, there we go.
Yum.
Right? Just use all of it. It's not that much dressing. Like I said, it's a creamy, but it's thin and delicious. Let me get my tongs, which are here. I'm going to just toss this. And let me show you before it's tossed. You can see how yummy this looks, right? Yum. I mean, who wouldn't want that? It's colorful, it's creamy, it's well dressed. It's going to have a lot of flavor. It's going to have a lot of protein, crunch. Yummy. This is so good. I love this dressing. This is like a great deviation from a regular coleslaw, which is really mayo based and has a lot of fat. This is going to give you good fats. It's going to give you good calcium. It's going to give you good protein, you guys. This looks fantastic. I'm going to just serve it up in a nice big bowl. And this does have protein, so you can serve this as is, just as it is, as a wonderful light lunch, maybe even a light dinner if that's all you wanted. But if you did want to serve it for a more substantial meal, you can serve it with anything else, maybe a soup, maybe a wrap, whatever. Here it is. I'm going to show you in the overhead. This looks really, really good. All right, I'm coming back to you guys. I see there's some questions here, so I just want to make sure that we get some things on the screen. There's some questions first about the recipe. Well, how long will this last in the refrigerator? Sharice, this is going to last probably 3 to 4 days in the fridge. It's going to last a week if you don't dress it, so you can actually just keep dressing it in individual portions if you want it to last a little longer, okay? There's so many great questions here and comments. Okay, here's one from your friend, Kai, this is for you. Cindy says, eating this way and cooking this way has been remarkably satisfying. I always thought before that the food was tasteless and bland, but that is not the case at all. I know she's a good dear friend of yours. So that's from Cindy. She did our Testimony Tuesday last Tuesday. If you guys want to hear her story, please check it out. Yes. Roberta Baumgardner, happens to be my mama, says, love this philosophy with food. She loves that you called this vibrant eating, plant-based foods. I love that comment as well. Thank you for that, Mom. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Yeah, it sounds like we've really kind of captured everyone. Oh, I love this. Here's a really kind of cool comment from Marie, my aunt. Love, love, love this show. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Chef. You are amazing and talented. A lovely, lovely young woman filled with so much love. As you cook, you're a beautiful person. Is she talking about you or me? I think both of us. Let's take it for both of us. Thank you so much, Auntie Ria. I appreciate it. Yes, you can use nuts. I'm seeing a lot of different comments. Yes, you can use date syrup. And that's kind of it. You know, let's end with one final comment from you, Kai. What is it that you want people to know about, you know, making this the commitment to a plant-based lifestyle? Do you have any quick tip that you can just leave our viewers with today?
Okay, well, it only takes a little bit of discipline. And what has really helped people recently is think of it, if you're having a hard time starting, 80-20. I do 80-20, not with plant-based. I'm 100% with that, or 99. I have a little honey. But 80% of the time I do just the right thing. Like you said, with whole foods, I use a little salt. I use a little, not usually oil, but a little bit of these things sometimes. So think of 80-20 in your whole life, of like you did the right thing about 80% of the time, and your health is a reflection of what you do most of the time.
Yes.
And besides eating the rainbow, eat your water. Your food should be juicy, which you do all your stuff. Yes. If you have a lot of fruits and vegetables, then you have that intact.
Yes, yes. All right, so I love it. If you guys want to check out Kai's documentary, her film is called Kai's Garden. You can check it out on YouTube. Before we wrap, I just need to give this a little taste because that's what I do. Before I do, I want to give this food a little gratitude. Thank you, food. Thank you, God. All right, I'm coming for you.
You're making me hungry. I'm on a cleanse.
I'm sorry, girl. No. Okay, this is for you after your cleanse then. I'm telling you, Kai, you're going to love this recipe. And everyone else here, you guys, you have to try this. It's so creamy. It's so delicious. It's so hydrating and juicy, as Kai just mentioned. Thank you all for being here today. I'm so glad that, Kai, you got to share your story. Kai, thank you for everything that you do in this community, in this space. And maybe you can come back again at some point. We would love to have you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I really hope to see you back in the studio again. I'm going to be back all week long, testing the waters to see who's here with me for the rest of the recipes that I'll be cooking with you. And we may have some just chats and coffee time too. So please tune in for that. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, your morning, or your day. And I will see you next time. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.